everybody flees, the money shifts out. And I think that's one. And I think the other one, which is closely linked to it, is that Africa's politics have fallen into the hands of elites, as the Nigerians would call them. These are a class of people who are pure business politicians, and business and politics go together in Africa. You cannot stand as a poor man. I came across a wonderful example the other day from Kenya, where a man who cycled around on a bicycle was trying to get himself elected, and the people just laughed at him, and they say, "You've only got a bicycle. What can you do for us? We need a big man with a big car with money. That's the politician we need to."
And that is what I want to talk to you guys about right there. That is what I want to talk to you guys about, especially the young people of Africa. In my last video, I showed you guys, how you can make some money on YouTube, right? But what I want to talk about today is this video from this white man. And to you, the young people of Africa, because it's about perception. And I want to change your mentality. I want to teach you guys to understand that you have to, help your own. Look amongst yourselves within your communities. There are people that are very genuine. They want to get involved. They want to change your lives. They want to change your communities. They want to get involved in politics. But of course, they don't have money. They don't have big cars because they've not been stealing. But then you people, again, you young Africans especially, you look down on your own brothers and sisters because now they don't have a big car. They don't have money to come give to you. So when it's time for you to vote, you rather go vote for somebody that comes and gives you some naira or some cedis or some leons or some currency in your country. You wouldn't vote for that person who is your age mate and someone that you can relate with and someone that you know is very genuine within your communities, that can go and represent and change the lives of your people and bring development to your people. You would say, well, you can't trust some of these young people. They are broke, they are poor. Once they get into the power, that's it. They start stealing. But no, you don't. You cannot judge somebody because you haven't given them the opportunity. Until you give them an opportunity and they fail to perform, then yes. But you'll say again, well, you know what? We don't want to judge them, but a lot of the young brothers and sisters that we've sent into, say, the Senate or in Parliament, they failed us. But that is what I want to talk to you about, and that's why I want to share this video with you. So I want you guys to listen to this and let's talk about this because this is why Africa is the way it is.
So there's this mentality, which I think has allowed a very small group of people to take over those countries politically, but also economically. And that's why you have something like, I think the World Bank says between 60 and 70% of Africa's capital shifted out of the continent. It's in banks in Europe and Asia and maybe America as well.
So you see, that is the thing. That's another part of what is actually happening in Africa. All the money is shifted. These guys are stealing all of those funds and they'll take it to, overseas. They'll take it to America, Dubai, all of these other places. Everybody wants to go to Dubai lately, right? That's what all you hear from Africa. Most Africans, oh, we're going to Dubai for vacation. We go to Dubai for holidays. All of the wealth from Africa. So what ends up happening is instead of them creating job, for you guys, creating employment opportunities for you guys, no, they wouldn't do that. So they'll end up, taking all of this money that they should use to, build your roads, build your hospitals, build your schools. They'll take this money, steal this money, and send it back, overseas. Sometimes they even lose this money. So that is why I want young people in Africa listening to these kinds of messages to say, what can I do to change the narrative? What can I do to get involved in our politics? Just don't sit by, especially again, girls. Because a lot of you, all you do is, oh, I'm pretty, you make up and this and that, and you're done. Okay, once I walk down the road, some man in a big car is going to come my way. And that is my jackpot, that is my lotto. So a lot of young girls don't get engaged in the politics as well. But in fact, women can do a lot to change the politics in Africa. If only they can stop encouraging these corrupt politicians and say, you know what? I want to be a very faithful woman. I want to be a woman to a man that I love and I want to marry. And we can build a family together. They don't have to be wealthy. They don't have to be rich. But as long as they have something they can do. And how can you do that? It's by holding these leaders accountable, starving them, making sure that you hold their feet to the fire to change the continent of Africa. They steal all the money, So I just wanted to share this with you because it's very solemn. It's a very sensible point that he's making. We don't have to rely on white people to come to Africa and make all these assertions for us. We should be able to reason for ourselves and say, yes, we can make a development. We can change Africa for what it should be. Africa is one of the richest continents. There is no reason for you to be poor. There is no reason for any one of you guys to suffer. No African should suffer. If only African leaders can actually just maintain the wealth that we have. And that is why I want to play sounds like these for you so you guys can hear this. So when your young brother or a young sister comes around and says, hey, I want to contest for parliament, give them the support. You guys come together. Give them the support that they need so that you can be a part of the process. Because if you're not part of the process, you allow these corrupt politicians to make decisions for you. You make decisions for your future, decisions for your kids, your grandkids. That is why in Africa, when you look at all these countries, 60 years of independence, 70 years of independence, the same complaints that our own parents, our grandparents were complaining, it is the same complaints that we are still complaining. Electricity, water, healthcare, education, poor roads, right? No internet, lack of clean drinking water. The same problems again and again and again and again. So I want you guys to reflect on that. The next time you have an opportunity to think about it, support your own young candidates in these communities. Pick your own members of parliament. Hold them accountable. Remind them every day why they were sent there. Ensure that the government allocate the funds that should go to the communities in your communities in Africa to improve your lives. The difference with America and all of these other European countries is that everywhere you are connected. Some of us, we all live in villages, but the difference is we have roads leading to these villages. We have electricity. We have internet. We have clean drinking water. As long as you can work, you can make a living for yourself. So I want you young people to get involved in politics in Africa and change the narrative. Okay? I just want to share that with you. So listen to the rest of it.
But these people just do what the colonialists did, which was suck the wealth out and shift it overseas. And until that changes, that is, until there's a new generation or even a revolution that actually takes power back to African people, I think those problems, that lack of development, will continue.
And that is the most important part there. That's why I say get engaged in your politics, get engaged in your community. Start canvassing your neighborhood. So you know who you want to pick for parliament. You know who you want to be your local chairman. It shouldn't be somebody that comes and bribe you. No. Let it be somebody that you know that you can put your trust in as a community. All of you guys come together. A lot of your brothers and sisters, they finish college, no job. Support them. Support them. You can change the narrative. But again, we have to empower ourselves. Some countries, we've seen again the rise of coups in Africa. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of coup, right? I'm not saying, there should be coups everywhere. But again, militaries have a responsibility across the continent of Africa to protect their democracies. And we've seen that a lot of countries, when you look at Mali, you look at Guinea, Conakry, these are countries that are, Burkina Faso, they're taking back power, from corrupt leaders. But again, what this man is saying, until the younger people, that young generation, go back and take power away from these corrupt leaders, Africa is not going anywhere. And our lives would not change. Our lives would not transform. We will continue to see our brothers and sisters going on temple run. We'll continue to see our sisters, willing to sell their bodies, as sex slaves, basically, go to Dubai and all these other places, taking chances, that human beings in a logical manner should not take. Africa could be better for Africans if only we hold the leaders accountable. Let us stand up and represent ourselves. Let us stand up and resist these guys, bad politicians across the continent of Africa. Bye-bye, everybody. Until next time, I'll see you again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, okay? Bye-bye.